Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Superboard Commentaries. I'm your host, DruoxTheShredder, and this is my team. There's me, the Saint of War, the Chinese God of War, the great, the incomparable, the one, the only, the legendary Guan Yu. Then there's Kali and Poseidon and this guy, Apollo and Hades, but who cares about them? Yes, this is a ranked game, as you can tell by the title. And there are some epic things that I do in this game. And then we start to fail for a little bit, and then we pull it back together and we destroy this enemy team. My win percentage is getting pretty good on ranked. Not afraid to say. I'm a pretty good tank, and that's really what it all comes down to. If you're a good tank, you'll usually win. So, we got a Sobek here. We got an Ares starting with wards, not a bad decision. We got Thor, we got Neith, and we have Freya. And Aphex just so happens to be online. I really wish that they would bring it back to where when you scrolled up it would go really fucking fast. I really wish they went back to that, but they didn't. What am I gonna do? What you gonna do? So, we had a little bit of a fight over who was going where. I thought I was going left at first, but we decided it would be better if I went right so that we'd have a ranged in each lane. Good strategy, actually. But the reason why I thought I was going left was because support. But Hades can support too because of his heal, and he's better with a melee anyway because his heal works when he's standing next to the target he wants to heal. So, sometimes you get in games with people that want to win a game. You know, they want to do everything they can to win a game. Then you get in games with teams like this. Now, it looks like they're posturing to try to start Gold Fury, but I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to know that that's not what they're up to. So, they're going to try to gank our left lane over here while they're getting blue buff. They've obviously practiced this for a while. They know good timing on when to go in. They're going in now. So they're going to start harassing the Hades here. And all three of them are there. Kali called out for help, but there isn't really much I could have done from where I was. And Poseidon comes in, but he's not level 5. Like, what's he going to do? Hades making poor life decisions. Probably should have tried to heal off of them. And Kali looks like she's going to get out of here. So they stole blue buff, but they just took a ton of damage for no reason, really. And in the meantime, we're going to head over to right lane. If there's one thing I'm good at as Guan Yu, it's something that I like to call baiting. Some people know what baiting is. Some people know the proper technique for baiting. As Guan Yu, it's really easy for me to bait. For other gods, even Ymir, it's very difficult. But with Guan Yu, it's just effortless. It also helped that this Sobek was fucking up a lot. So there, I harassed him with my dash. So I'm running out now. I slowed down the Thor, who's overcommitted at this point, and he ends up dying. That was a bait. You saw that he went in, he thought he could kill me, but I'm Guan Yu. I'm level 2. I'm gonna have that heal. I'm going to be able to tank a lot more than you can dish out, especially with my potions. You can see I always buy at least one of each potion. This is just to keep me alive. You'll also notice that I didn't get beads or an Aegis. This is because I didn't really... Like, me staying alive was not a big deal. All the carries needed an Aegis. They needed some beads. They needed something to keep themselves alive whenever Ares tried to initiate on him. Like, me staying alive was not a big deal for our team. So, I didn't do everything in my power to stay alive. However, baiting is something that I'm very good at as Guan Yu. Guan Yu is a very strong god. He's got a lot going for him. He has big damage. He has huge sustain because of that heal. All he needs is mana, you know? And mana potions aren't that expensive. Not to mention the blue buff. So, he's pretty hard to keep out of lane. You can usually stay in a lot longer than anyone else in the game, except for maybe Hell. So here is a initiation coming in here from the enemy team. I'm going to jump in on the Thor after he finished spinning. This is so that he can't negate the slow with his spin, because his spin stops him from being slowed. I also believe you can't stun him while he's spinning now, as I've seen people pull him and he doesn't get pulled while he's spinning, so I don't know. It's a little weird. It used to be that you could stun him mid-spin, but I don't know anymore. A little bit of lag. What you gonna do? I'm gonna keep my mouse hovering over this. If they cross paths again, I'm gonna have to go over there and take a look at what Poseidon's doing. In the meantime, it looks like left lane is having a hard time. Not afraid to say. It's always good to see that I'm not going up against all team members. It's really nice. Also, it looks like two people from the same team are on opposite teams here, which is pretty weird. But, whatever. I have a very horrible score in this, by the way. If I remember right, I think I get a ton of assists in the end of the game, but I get a really bad score in this game. But I was the tank, and I was tanking properly. My team just wasn't fighting and doing enough damage to keep me alive, but I did enough to help us win. But you'll see. So here I'm going to harass the Thor a little bit. Guan Yu's passive allows me to get some extra defenses while I'm underneath the tower. So I take advantage of that a lot. Looks like there's a bit of a fight going on in left lane over here. I don't think that they're going to end up winning, however. Yeah, Freya, quite strong, but ends up dying anyway. Hades' ult, a little bit too strong for the enemy to deal with. Is this Ares going to be able to survive? No. He ends up dying to some DOT. Meanwhile, in our lane, not really much going on. In mid lane, it's been pretty sided towards the Neath. Neath definitely has a bit of control over that lane. There's a fight going on our right-hand side here. Thor goes up. I die, but I had to save Apollo. It's just that simple. If I didn't save Apollo, they would have not only gotten a double kill, but what would be the point of me doing anything if my carry is behind? So Kali here, gonna get ganked and killed at the buff, because she's not going for the buff, while the lane opponents are dead. Therefore, they're going to come gank you. As you can see, they have a ward in here now, because Neath, her passive, she's very strong because of that passive. If you gank people in buffs, you now have a almost permanent ward there. That, in fact, she can ult and really hurt an enemy team. So, Hades getting harassed here. I'm going to see a lot of damage coming out of this Freya through the rest of the game, so watch your butts. And all she has is her boots. Like me, I always go Death's Toll and a Vampiric Shroud. And this is the Death's Toll, and this is the Vampiric Shroud, because she runs both of those damages if you're, especially in the early game, it just makes you that much more difficult to tank. Here we're going to have a quick fight between the Neath and the Poseidon. Both at pretty good levels here. In goes Ares, but he's going to be underneath the turret the whole time. Oh, he missed the chain, so that's going to not equal a kill. Poseidon tanking like a boss, and there goes the Ares. Fail gank for the win. Good bait by the Poseidon. Neath wishing that she didn't waste her ult on the Apollo earlier. However, Thor ults in and gets the kill. And then Thor gets killed. Wow, this is really back and forth in mid right now. But I don't think that Kali is going to be killing that Neath. Apollo heading into the lane to try to do a little bit of harassing, maybe even get a kill or two. Big CC on this Kali, but not going to be killing her. Still not going to be killing her. Wow. That's a lot of health getting taken away by those minions. She should really stop tanking them. Both of them are quite low. They really need to go back. Alright. So we head back over to me. Just laning versus this Sobek. Sobek's trying to push the lane and leave. And I know what he's up to. He wants to go mid. He wants to help his teammates. And I'm like, no. You're going to stay in lane with me, or I'm going to push it right to your turret and do damage to it. In the meantime, his teammates are dying in the lane. We just happen to keep his lane pushed at the right point. At this point in the match, it was very good for us. Now, I take the opportunity to leave. Apollo heads in. He's going to get pulled here. Easy. Oop, just kidding. This Sobek was a little off with the pulls in the game. I'm not sure if he was lagging or something, but I've never had that much trouble pulling someone who's moving that slowly when they're that close to me. He's not even dodging that hard. Missed all of that spin. Didn't even touch him. Couldn't spin to win. That's a shame. Slamming on that left-hand tower for the red team, right-hand tower for my team. Uh-oh. There's going to be a big initiation here from the Thor. I looked up, I saw him, and I was ready for it, but I couldn't... Yeah, I couldn't kill, but I was able to stop them from going after the Apollo. It's really all my goal was. Throwing the heal on myself, stashing away. They're throwing down the slows. I'm going to try to run here. Thor's cooldowns are just barely too long, and I get away. He probably started running because he might have seen the Poseidon. Poseidon coming into lane here. Apollo not coming in to help. We were both really low, so we had to go back. We had no choice. Whoa. That new blink. Ridiculous when chasing. Is the Thor going to get killed here? He might. Ooh, there it is. That cripple. Cripple too strong. Mid lane, Kali trying to kill this Neath here. In comes Apollo, and there's the kill for Kali. Very polite Apollo, not going for the kill steal, just wanted to make sure that she could get that kill. He might have stolen it with his ult, but it didn't look like he was gonna. So, very polite of him to not steal the tower. We're playing very aggressive right now. We're getting ahead. You can see it's 12-6. We've got a good gold advantage in spite of the team playing the way that they've been playing. That might be a dead Kali. Ooh, no, it's not. Wow. Wow, good survival by the Kali. Meanwhile, top lane. Well, at the top of right lane. There looked like there might have been a fight, but there wasn't. He pushed the lane, but for no reason, because it's not going to be attacking the turret. Freya trying to run back to the tower here, but Hades going to be catching up here. So, Kali ends up dying because of Ares. She got a little bit aggressive. Trying to get buffs. Well, she doesn't know where the enemy is. That's the problem. This is a bad day for Poseidon. Poseidon almost getting ulted on here. Thor coming in looking for blood. Good Kraken. Throwing in that cripple, but he's gonna end up dying anyway. 4 of the enemy are there. And I don't know if Hades is gonna make it here. So here I was like, why aren't we attacking this tower? Apollo, we could probably kill it. But save my dash to go through the Sobek because I knew that if I knew he wouldn't attack me because the turret was more important than me. So took the opportunity to harass him as much as I could. You'll notice he didn't try to pull me. He's got a teammate that's in trouble here. So I'm gonna be coming down, trying to come in here. Alright, I pulled the enemy out here. That's what I'm all about. Pulling the enemy away. Keeping them distracted, keeping them harassed. Down goes Neath. They both went after me instead of trying to do so. So here I stay in the back, pulling in the back lines here, making sure that nobody's going to be coming in from the back like Sobek and trying to get a pull. Alright, so I think Apollo might have a problem, but his mini stun ends up saving his life. Poseidon here going for the Kraken, but the Aegis saving that Ares' life. Freya trying to kill me, but can't. You saw my epic dodges baiting the Freya to try to go for the kill instead of focusing on trying to run away. She forgot about the rest of my team that were right next to her, and instead ended up getting herself killed. Speaking of forgetting about the rest of their team, Thor goes up here. You know he's got his eyes on me. Look at my health. I'm a tasty little cookie. So you saw, I waited for him to do the motion that he was going to come down. So he's going to dash right behind me. I'm going to easily survive that because of my heal. And now look at this. That's something that I like to call the master bait. I'm a master of baiting, and that was lovely. I was in complete control in that scenario. The Thor thought I was out of position, but he fell right for it. And he went in way too deep, gave our team an extra kill. And that's what we need. That's what we want. Pretty catchy song. It's a good song. Oh, my neck cracked back there. You might have heard it. Sorry about that. Kali thinking maybe she can kill the turret and the Neath. Ooh, good ult. Good timing on the ult there. Now they're all overcommitted. There's not going to be any way for them to be able to fight these two. But they are going to get the kill on that Kali. Forgot about the Neath ult. Didn't notice it was off cooldown. Looks like they really want this Hades. Is Hades going to be able to get away? Hades is another god that I'm actually quite good at baiting and running with. Good Kraken positioning. Very good. Hades going to be able to get away off that. And two people very, very low right now. Thor's going to be coming down on this Hades. Yep. Called that. Stupid. Should have left-clicked him first. Dumb. Ever so dumb. Going for the kill here on Sobek. Getting it. Good job. Meanwhile, in this lane, Freya can absolutely wreck a turret with her, 1. It just absolutely wrecks turrets. Just gonna go for the banish there, like any good Freya would. You want to hit that banish to stop people from getting to you. It's just that simple. You don't want them near you. Now our mid tower is getting attacked here, but she's not going to try to fight this Poseidon. She's not crazy, she's just dumb. Big difference. So here I'm like, why don't we go after the Gold Fury? Let's force a fight. You know, and they're like, no, there's wards. So I'm like, fine, whatever. I want to force a fight with them because they can't beat us in team fights. So if we can force them into a team fight, we will win. But they don't want to force them into team fights. They want to play more of a turret pushing game. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. You see there, I don't really take a lot of damage from turrets. I take some, but not a lot. Here I knew that there was going to be a pull on that Apollo. I did everything I could to save him. Stopping the Neath. And I'm going to die here, but I saved our carry, as you can see. He's going to easily make it out. If I didn't do what I did, we would have had a dead Apollo, and we don't want our Apollo dying. He's very far ahead. He's doing well with levels. He's one of the highest levels in the game. And Kali is being dumb. But, doesn't look like it's going to be too bad here. Poseidon going to easily make it out. So that's good. Meanwhile, Thor using his ult to get away and running. Running like a little bitch. Sorry for the yawn. I'm a little tired, in case you couldn't tell. Poseidon, a pretty strong god. This is one of the few ranked games I've ever played where he wasn't banned. So he's supposedly not really good anymore, but I don't believe that for a second. I know better than that. Poseidon is still very strong. He's still very reliable. He's still very consistent, and he's still very scary. Yeah, I tried to get my team to force a fight near the Gold Fury, but they wouldn't. The red team doesn't want to fight us. They don't want to fight us. I knew that. I said that. They wouldn't believe me. It's a shame. We could have won 2 team fights right now, and instead we're just doing nothing. Here's a quick team fight here. As you can see, the enemy team is all bunched up. We are split apart pretty bad. We have an Apollo in left lane. We have a Kali going after a cooldown buff for no reason, so we don't want to fight this. So, I don't. So just waiting for an initiation at this point. Is Kali gonna get killed here? I think that she does, now that I'm thinking about it. No. Maybe not. Alright, so here's us. We're the tanks. Look at what the rest of the team is. Here are the tanks. Here's the rest of the team. Here are the tanks. Here are the rest of the team. So I used my ult to get away here. Freya coming in once again. That masturbating absolutely wrecked that Freya. She had no way to kill me, but she tried her hardest. Oh, that might have been... Oh, it wasn't a bad decision. It ended up being fine. Kali coming back in here, looking for someone to hit. Let's see what happens. There's the Hades ult. That's going to be a dead Ares, no problem. We have such a strong team fight. If we'd all just fucking stick together for a minute. That every single time we team fight, it hasn't been against us. It's always been in our favor. We didn't lose anyone in that fight. So we're doing very well. I came close, but it's all part of the plan, baby. Once again, they're checking how warded this area is, and it is quite warded. So they don't grab the Fury. Lots of wards getting purchased. They want to keep these wards up on the enemy team, and that's fine. Just waiting on something to happen. Mid lane, nothing going on. Right lane, just in your average split push. I'm not really scared of this Thor. He's pretty behind. Look at him, he's still level 14. Even like our Hades is keeping up with him. I'm a low level because I'm playing support. I'm not last hitting. I'm not farming camps. I'm trying to stick with my team. You can see here, I'm following them. They won't follow me, so I follow them. That's sometimes what you gotta do. You gotta stop being the leader and start just following your carries when you're a tank. So you can see there, I got between the enemy team and my carry. Missed his chain. It's fine with me. Gonna tank this fire, no problem. There's the pull. I was waiting for it. I'm gonna use my ult to hit as many of them as I can. I die because our team just isn't doing anything. Here's our tank. Yeah. And now he's with the team. He's finally with the team. Hades is running away when we've initiated a fight. That's a shame, so he won't be getting any assists there. Had he went in, he probably would have not only gotten some assists, but maybe even some kills. Here comes Thor. Thor coming in, trying to kill this Poseidon. Poseidon throwing on the beads here, getting away, putting down his whirlpool, no problem for him to escape. Same with Kali, who puts on her little rage that she has that allows her to go very fast. At the same time, we're pushing that right tower with the Apollo, and nobody's going to be coming there to prevent it because we've got such a huge amount of pressure on this left lane. So we get that free right hand tower, no problem. Apollo, if we ever needed him to, could have just ulted and come right over. So we're getting these turrets down, and that's really important. Against this team, we need them, even though they have all those wards, to just have no control. Oh wow, good stun by that Thor you saw there, solidifying the kill for us. That was really nice of him to do so. And they lost 3 towers here, and they might even lose 4. Yeah, that's definitely looking like that tower's gonna go down way before Ares can do anything about it. Yeah, that tower's down. We're just playing super aggressive here. We're doing very well. We're killing all of their structures. We're getting rid of their ability to push back. We're getting rid of their offensive capabilities. And we're just doing well. Here, I'm pulling this Sobek towards my team. And we turn around on him. And he's going to use his ult. I'm going to dash over. It confused them for a second. And they finally kill me. Kali, for some reason, running back in. I'm not sure what she's thinking at this point. I can't say I agree with what she did there. Kali should have ran. I gave her a perfect opening for it. A majority of them were going after me because I'm so hard to kill. The big problem here is that Hades went after this red buff that he can't kill. And while he does that, the red team's going to get this Gold Fury. Like, at this point, I'm like, Hades, you're not playing the game right now. I need you to stop. You're our tank. We need you. It's not just I can't be the only tank. Alright? I have a heal, but I'm a support. You are the tank. You're the one who has to go in there. You have to go in there first. You're our initiation. If you don't burn their shit, I can't stun them. And he goes, alright. So from this point on, Hades is going to stop being a goddamn idiot. If you've been watching him on the map, you would have seen his very poor play. He's just got his head up his ass. So Apollo has some great escapes, so he can afford to be a little bit careless. So I didn't really go too far out of my way to do anything. Poseidon wasting his blink there just to get to a better position. Sobek taking a look over here. And I'm just hanging out. Just hanging out. Hanging out, getting some quick minions over there, because I can clear camps pretty fast. Now, here comes an initiation. Just waiting on the Hades here to do something. Hades uses his ultimate. That's a good initiation. Big Kraken, getting the damage onto that tank for no reason, but hey, killing him isn't that bad. They lose a lot of CC and a lot of damage that way. Freya, going to go into the sky, going for the kill here. I take out the Thor. I'm going to go after this Freya. I'm going to do everything I can to try to keep her out of the fight so that she can't revenge kill anybody. And we lost nobody in that fight. It didn't go very well. It wasn't the greatest fight in the world, but we didn't lose anyone. Kali coming in here trying to get the kill on that Freya, but Freya backing out just in time. Now she's going to try to go after that Sobek. But since Sobek abandoned the tower, we're going to take it. It's just that simple. We're going to do a lot of damage to that Ares and push him out and start posturing for the next push. We're getting pretty far ahead. We're doing well. I mean, we're not stomping this game, but we're doing very, very well. I mean, look at the score. We got 4 of our turrets are still left. We got all 3 Phoenixes. And we almost have a 10,000 gold advantage. We haven't been winning too many of these objectives, but that's okay, because we have a huge lead. Not a big deal. Huge lead. So here our tank gets pulled in. So I harass the Sobek, just so that he doesn't go straight in. And there's another Kraken taking out a lot of HP from that Sobek. Trying to keep him back, that's all. That's all we're doing. Trying to keep them backwards on their back feet so that they don't try to initiate. So now Thor is posturing to do something here. I try to stop him from stealing the buff. I think I succeed. Yes, I did. He didn't steal the buff. And down goes Thor. Are we going to see a dead Neith here? Neith getting chased down by Kali and Poseidon. Yeah, she's dead. Neith goes down. Neith was pretty out of position in that case. She just wasn't doing a safe thing when she was doing that. Now, as you can see, by keeping the enemy back, they aren't replacing those wards. So that's a good thing. Here, I'm tanking a little bit of the Freya stuff. She's gonna ult. I'm gonna die. That's fine. I'm not the carry. I pulled her away from the rest of our team. She's not gonna continue trying to chase anyone because she had to use her ult to kill me. So that's a victory. Sobek getting chased down by Kali now, and Kali running away to go after this Ares. Ares getting burst down here by Kali's damage, and down goes Ares to the Poseidon. They're getting really dumb. You know, they keep falling for these baiting things. They're constantly getting out of position, this red team. They're playing well, they have good ward placement, they have good map coverage, but they're just not able to get into good positions. And their team comp isn't very good against ours. We have a very good team comp against theirs. Because of how much AoE we have and how little AoE they have. They have a better initiation, but they just can't compete when it comes to the team fight damage. So, Apollo gonna push that left lane while we hang out around Fire Giant. I'm seeing Thor go up. Where is he gonna land? Trying to go after Hades. Hades not getting hit by that ult, so Thor says fuck it and goes back to home to become a family man. So, the red team just tried to figure out what to do, it looks like at this point. They aren't really sure where to go next. They're really sure what to do next. As you can see, we're starting to get our wards down at this point. Buying more wards more commonly and quickly. We're going to go after this objective while we have a few free seconds to get it. And there it is. Got that gold fury. And we got the right enemy tower as well, thanks to the Hades and Poseidon, who are both going to get away very easily from the red team. So now the red team definitely thinking about trying to start something. But at the same time, Kali is pushing that left lane. I told them that they're all missing. Like, just go in. He's alone. They didn't believe me. They weren't looking at the map. I knew that he wasn't going to be able to fight it. Wasn't a big deal. But our team was just a little too safe. They were too apprehensive and stayed back. So we couldn't bait them away from that Kali. Thor here checking out the Gold Fury to find out that it's gone. Poseidon getting that blue buff. So here you can see our gold advantage is still going to be over 10,000, regardless of what goes on this red team until they start killing us in team fights. It's just that simple. So here's the Apollo ult. You heard him whistle for his chariot. His chariot's going around. He's going to ult in behind that Neith. We're waiting for the... I'm just waiting on that Hades ult. Just waiting for him to do something. And he's not. Down goes Thor. Still no ult from the Hades, so I take the initiative. I hit as many of them with my ult as possible, laying in some damage. Hades and I kill the Sobek before he can pop his ult. And then I go after the Neith. So here you see I quickly change direction in an attempt to help my Apollo get away. He's going to run away from that Thor. Freya making some poor life choices here, and I get the both of them with my dash, but didn't end up killing the Neith, but I did harass her enough so that she wouldn't chase me. But I was pretending that somebody was chasing me, and you saw that I threw my heal up. Sadly, Apollo couldn't get away from the Thor, but look at where the Thor is. He's all the way down there. We're up against this Phoenix. They're not going to be able to defend this. if we would have pushed it, but we didn't because we were low HP, so we had to get out. So we did. We'll push it again on our next try. Every time we push, we're just getting further in. At this point, I'm like, we really should try to do this. Not afraid to say. There, I killed one of the wards in the area, and when my team finally knew that there were no wards there, they decided to go in. So, we're attacking this fire giant. Hades is over here. Notice this. Hades over here. We're at the fire giant. Hades was in mid lane. So he finally crosses over. Really nice of him to do so. After I have to get out, and I pop my girdle to let us get that fire giant buff. So now we have the fire giant buff. I'm gonna die here, but I didn't really have a choice. But I tried. Nobody body blocked that pull, so I ended up dying. It's just that simple. However, so did Sobek. So that's 1 for 1. That's fine. My death was not in vain. And we're just gonna absolutely decimate this red team. They didn't bring enough people to fight us. It's just that simple. Kali with the fire giant buff is scary. Alright? Her name changes to Scary instead of Kali. And she hurts. And she's hard to kill. Very hard to kill. To the point where, like, she should have a secret skin that only you can only see when she gets the fire giant buff, where she has a Die Hard t-shirt on, because that's how hard she is to kill while she has the fire giant buff. She gets so much regen and so much extra attack power that the amount of lifesteal that she's capable of is just through the roof, and you cannot kill her. It takes so much concentrated effort from a team to kill a Kali with fire giant buff. If you don't believe me, try fighting one. Try fighting a halfway decently built Kali and just see what happens. Especially one that's built like ours. So as you can see, this is more than likely the end of the game. The enemy team isn't going to come back and win in 1 minute. So it was a good game. My team did very well. We had great team fights. It was a little slow. The Hades made a couple mistakes that he didn't need to make. But he corrected himself, and we ended up winning because of it. It's just that simple. So that's a little bit more Smite. You can see me as a tank, dying constantly, getting a score of 3 and 7, but I got those 11 assists because I was in as many fights as I needed to be. I wasn't our main damage. Our main damage when it came to tanking was our Hades. That was my first ranked game of the day. My first win of the day. And we did pretty good. Our carries had very good scores. Kali had 10 and 6. Poseidon was 11 and 2. Even Apollo with 5 and 1 was doing alright for someone who wasn't really in there doing a lot of the damage. If you look at his build, he wasn't even really built that well for damage. But our Kali was all about it. Look at that. Penetration. Some extra physical protection to help her fight that Neith. She was going to finish that Eye of Retaliation and be even more deadly. It would have been ridiculous. It would have been ridiculous. The longer that game went, the stronger we were about to become. I grabbed this. I think that this was part of the reason why my initiation was, even when I had to initiate, it wasn't for nothing. When I was hitting them, I was applying this debuff, which decreased their magic resistance. So I would initiate, then Hades would go in, and he would do more damage to them, so they would panic a little bit faster. I feel that if Hades had one of these too, oh, forget it. Just forget it. I was going a little more offensive with my build because my heal was something that I wanted us to fall back on if we ever needed to. But fortunately, we didn't need that because I was very behind since I was supporting Apollo. I was letting him get all the last hits. I was making sure he was getting kills, not me. And our lane was very defensive, so we were a little bit behind, but it was okay. I was able to bait the enemy very well. That is part of what being Guan Yu support is. It's baiting the enemy. You can see here I kept up with the other tank when it came to damage. When it came to taking damage, I took a lot of damage. I wasn't taking as much as Kali, but I was taking a lot of damage. So, as long as one of our tanks was getting focused almost as much as one of our carries, we're doing alright. As you can see, the enemy team took a lot more damage than we did. Even their lowest amount of damage taken is higher than our lowest. So, when you're support Guan, beat the enemy, kill the enemy, win the game, go to bed.